Virtual reality is often seen as a tool. Big software companies such as Valve and Meta make VR experiences just to show that they can in a competition of look what I can do. Meanwhile, artists and game designers the world over shudder at the thought of trying to make their ideas come to life in VR, with one exception. A small company from Tel Aviv called One Hamsa dared to make their world in virtual reality, and it's forcing the gaming industry to see VR as its own medium. I got to speak with their lead game designer about how their robot-crunching pit-fighting game was made in VR.
First of all, without being too cheeky, I would like more games. Most of the things selling for games they're not up to the standard of what us who play games on PC are expecting. In terms of mechanical depth, in terms of lore, in terms of progression, all these things, right? And also just in terms of innovation, we're kind of making the same thing over and over again, and we're only 8 years or 7 years into the medium, and already we're kind of stuck in a rut. I think the thing that really clicked for us was understanding the fantasy of what you're embodying in the game. You're in a gorilla, you rampage like a gorilla, you also move like a gorilla. And suddenly all of the locomotion and physics and arm following mechanisms and all that, they had a common fantasy that they needed to prop up and to be informed by. You're a rampaging giant metal ape. How does an ape do? And then trying to make sure that all of the physics, all of the locomotion, all of the controls feed into this fantasy, into this story of what the player is supposed to be embodying.
I do think the music and the art style and everything create like a really, really comprehensive world in the way that it's designed and everything like that, and just really adds to the whole experience of the game and everything, and the intensity and the grunginess of the whole thing. The music upbeat and intense, and just the art style as well. Have like the whole steampunk, post-apocalyptic, everything like that just combines to make this extremely dense and well-built world.
Let's go. Let's break now. Smash the hit. It'll be killed, bitches.
The guiding principle and also like our main design pillar in the game is the Hebrew word for hand-to-hand fighting, which is makot. There's like fight, but it's a lot, that word in Hebrew at least is a lot more visceral. And that is like the spirit that we tried imbuing all of this with. Like, I want to be fucking shit up with everything I got. I want the inner monkey to come out. I want the inner beast to come out. I don't want to fucking be clicking on buttons here, right?
See, One Hamsa haven't just created a great game. They set a benchmark for how taking advantage of VR as a medium should look like. And so, by inviting me to take advantage of their world, and every mechanic in it, everything that I can do in it, they invite me to take part in it more actively, and to feel like I'm really there.
The amount of times where someone in the studio, someone outside the studio said, yeah, you know what, but maybe we should also give stick locomotion. And as the lead designer, I would say like, no, we can't do that. That is not what the game is about. We have to make it work like this because this is the feeling we're looking at. You're an ape. This is VR. VR is for moving. That is what it gives us. It's not about clicking. And also, if I need to click tiny little buttons, then my entire range of motion is different.
In VR, you're surrounded by the whole thing. If it was just one flat screen in front of you, it'd just feel like any other FPS. And even just the interactivity, how you control the game, but like with the controllers and like motion controls in your hands and everything versus just keyboard and mouse, it would feel completely different, a lot less intense. They'd have to do a lot more work to replicate the sort of intensity and the adrenaline rush you get being surrounded by so many enemies and everything like that.
I have no added value playing an RTS in VR. I prefer playing StarCraft on PC because the genre has been born for mouse and keyboard, and just making the controls using your hands is less comfortable. So how do I take this medium's potential and what I like about these games and actually use the medium's advantages to this genre's advantages? I guess what I want to say is that I would love to see more innovation and more people take up the mantle. But what I'm seeing a lot of is just people trying to do the same stuff that doesn't quite work, in my opinion.
Yeah, you have a fantastic day, mate. Thank you so much.
Likewise. See ya.
See ya.